Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lila WebDev. In this video we will learn about the testing, right? How to write the test cases in the Angular 19. So let's try to understand about this one. So in this series, so we have completed our Angular server side rendering. Now we have entered into our Angular 19 testing. Already we have a complete set of course in about the Angular testing in our now channel. So if you want to know more about the testing means in detail means you can visit the channel. So here I will be explaining you the features and all those things, new features that has been added in the Angular 19. Just I will go through a overview only. So fine. So unit testing services is a critical aspect of ensuring that business logic encapsulated within them works as expected. So whatever the logic, whatever the things you are writing, the unit test cases will ensure that it is working as expected. So now I will be explaining you how to write the unit test cases in the Angular. So first we will try to check it with the services. So now I will have a service that is nothing but a value service. So it has a three methods like get value, get observable value, and also get promise value. So these three methods you will be having, and these methods represent common scenarios you will encounter when writing the services. Synchronous data retrieval, observable based data streams, and also promised based asynchronous operation. So now let's try to see how we can write it without using the Angular testing utilities. So here I will be trying to use without relying on the Angular testing utilities, how we can test a service. I will try to use it. So for this one, what I will try to do it is I will create a service, value services here. So I am creating this service, value service. So when you are trying to create ng generate service services slash value, then it will create a service along with a spec file also it will create. So all the services, all the testing scenarios and all the things you need to write it in a spec.ts file, and the logic and all the things you will be writing in the value.service.ts file. The test cases and all the things you will be writing in the spec.ts file. So now in the value.service.ts file, so as I already told you that we will be having three methods, that is nothing but get value, so which will return only the value, and here you will be having another one is get observable value, so which returns the observable, and you will be having another one that is nothing but get promise value, so which returns the promise. So these are the three methods which you will be having. So most of the times you will be encountering these type of return values only. So here the get value means, so here I will be returning the return real value, so whatever the thing, so you are returning the value. Now I want to return the observable value. So here what I can return, so here return means return off, so off will return the value. So here I will be returning the observable value, so this one is also returning. And now here you will be returning a promise. So here for returning the promise, what you will try to do, so here return promise dot resolve of promise value, that's it. So these are the three methods which you will be having. Now here, so here we are using the injectable decorator, marks this as a service available for dependency injection, and we are having get value which is simply synchronous function, get observable value returns an observable using RxJS off operator, and we are having an get promise value returns a promise resolved within a value, that's it. So now we need to write the spec file, so that is the test case. A test file will use the Jasmine to test the methods in value service. So let's open this values.service.spec.file. So here I will write, first I will write the code, then afterwards you will be able to understand. So service value service you are able to see, and here instead of using the utilities and all those things, so here I will use service is equal to new value service. Okay, so I am creating an object for this one. So now here, so here first one is I will be get value. So this is the method I am trying to check. Should return real value, should return. So this is the first case. So here what I will try to do, expect service dot get value. So this method should return or otherwise to be of real value, that's it. So we are checking that whatever the return value that is having, it should be real value. So now we are having another test case, that is nothing but it has get observable value should return value from observable, and this one what you can try to do, So here you will do service dot get observable value dot subscribe. So you will do the dot subscribe. Now what is happening here? Okay, and I can remove this one. Yeah, dot subscribe of value. You will get the value, and in this one I will do expect of value dot to be observable value. So this should return the observable value, right? So now here, so after completion of this one, we need to use the done. And here we need to have a done function. Why? Because this is all what I want to tell you is asynchronous, right? So we need to use the done function. That's it. So now another one which you will be having is the promise thing. So it hash get promise value. So this is the method which we will be writing, and should return value from promise. And this one how you will write. So this one also has a done function. So I have explained you about this done function in our testing series. So if you want, you can learn about that one. So service dot get promise value dot then, so when this one is resolved, so you will get the value here and here you can write expect the value dot to be of promise value. That's it. Now here also you need to mention it as in done. That's it. So this is how you write it. So I will try to explain you the step-by-step breakdown of this test. First one is a synchronous method test. So here you are using get value should return real value. So it directly calls the get value and uses Jasmine's expect method or function to assert the return value. And the next one is the observable based thing, and it subscribes to the observable returned by the get observable value and uses the done callback to signal test completion once the value is emitted. And here also it calls the get promise value and change to the then handler, uses the done callback to signal the test completion after the promise result. So for running this test one, so how we can run this test case? So here you can go and here you can run npm test. So when you run this one, so here Jasmine will execute each test in the spec file, and this result should indicate success for all the 3 tests. So let's try to see it. So here you will be able to see all the 3 tests has been passed. So it is still checking. Yeah, here you will be able to see value service, all the 3 tests has been passed. So that's it. Since Angular 19 uses the standalone components, no module configuration is required to test this service. So benefits of testing without Angular testing utilities. First one is the lightweight. So one is the lightweight, which are without using the test bed and all those things. No overhead of dependency injection configuration. Isolated, focus on testing the service logic independently of the Angular framework. And testing services in isolation is straightforward and fast. Use Jasmine's done callback for asynchronous tasks, observables and promises. You can write Angular test without relying on the Angular testing module or the utilities. So that's it guys about this basic testing service, testing of the services in Angular 19. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys everyone, welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. This is Leela. So we are learning about the Angular 19 testing the services. So in our previous video, we have learned about how to test the services without using the Angular testing utilities. So now in this video, I will try to show you how we can test the services which are dependent on other services. So how we can test those scenarios. This is a simple service which doesn't depend on anything. So just simple service, this one. Now for example, let's say that services in Angular often, so normally if you try to see, often depends on other services. And these dependencies are injected into the service constructor using Angular dependency injection. So that is normally Testing such services require mocking or replacing these dependencies to verify the service's behavior in isolation. So now in this video, we will try to cover creating a dependent service and writing tests with various techniques. What are the different types of techniques that are available without using the Angular testing utilities? I will try to show you. First of all, for this one, we will be creating a service. So this is our value service. Just I will try to use this get value only. Fine. So now I will create a master service which depends on value service, and it delegates its get value method to the value service. So for this one, what I will try to do it is ng gc in the services, I will create the master service. That's it. So it will take some time to create it. So now this master service will be dependent on the value service. So I will be injecting the value service into the master service using the dependency injection. So let's try to inject that one. So let it create. So I have created the master service. So previously we have created a component instead of service. So I have created a service G and S. Fine, let's go to the master service.ts file, and here I will be injecting the private value service, which is of type value service. So I am injecting the value service also. That's it. So now here what I will try to do, here let's say that I will be having a get value method in this one also, but here this one will return this dot value service, this dot value service dot get value. That's it. So this one is dependent on this one. So now this is our master service. Now what I will try to do, I will write the unit test without using the Angular testing utilities. So when testing services in isolation, the following techniques can be used. What are those things is, first one is the real dependency. So inject the real value service into master service. This is the simplest approach, but it is less practical when dependencies are complex. So first I will try to show you. Let's go to the master service.spec.ts file. So here I will be not using this one all. Okay. And what I will try to do here, so I will use describe master service, and here what I will try to do it is, so I will use simply like this. I am testing the hash get value should return the value from the real service. So this is our thing. So this is one way how we can test it. And now here I will be using constant master service is equal to new master service of, and here I need to provide the new value service. Okay. So here this is how I will be creating it. Now here I can remove this one. Master service. Okay. So this is how. Now here I will be writing expect of master service dot get value, and it should be equal to be of real value. That's it. So now we need to check it like this. Now if I try to do the npm test, so it will check all the testing scenarios and it will try to see it. And this one is possible. We are injecting the real value service into this one. This is the simplest approach, but it is less practical when dependencies are more complex. When these dependencies are complex and this dependency is dependent on another one, like that it is going on means, so it will become a complex thing. So if it is a simple thing means, so we can use this type of scenario. So this is one way how we can test the services which have a dependencies on another service. So here if you try to see, the master service is getting executed. So now this is one way. Get value should return the value from the real service. So now this one has been, test case has been passed. So now we'll try to see the another test case. So another way how we can do it. So now another one is fake dependency. So here we are trying to use the value service, this one, right? We can use a fake implementation of the dependency. This is suitable when you want full control over the behavior of the dependency. So for this one, what I will try to do it is, so here directly we will try to use class fake value service, and this is our fake value service, and here you will be having get value, and this one return fake service value. So this is one way which you can fake it, and here you can do fake value service. So this is how you will be providing the fake value service. Okay, so this is our fake value service. Now here this one is not assignable to a parameter of value service. Let's try to see it. So what I will try to do is, I will create another one. Let's close this one so that you can able to see. Yeah, hash get value and should return faked value. Okay, and in this one I can have in such a way that like this, and here you can have a constant master service is equal to new master service of new fake value service, okay, as, so here you can do it as something like this, okay, and here expect master service dot get value dot to be of, this time I will use faked service value, okay, I was trying to check it with the fake thing. So that's it. Now if I try to test this scenario, let's go and test this scenario, and here it has been faked service value to be faked service value, okay, so here I am using fakes, okay, so here let's try to modify it. So now hopefully this one should pass. So if you try to check it, yeah, here the faked service also is getting passed. So this is one way. So we are using the fake implementation of the dependency. So this is useful when you want full control over the behavior of the dependency. So another one which you want to take is fake object. So we can use a simple object and we can fake it, this one also. So here let's try to do it. Another one, another scenario I will try to show you. It hash get value should return fake value from object, okay, this is an object I am trying to use it, and for this one, oh sorry, and for this one what I will try to do it is same thing. So here what I will do is constant fake, I will use it, and this is an object. So here you can have a get value which is of type object, okay, and this one returns, so here this one returns the fake value, that's it. So this is our fake object, and the same thing you will be having constant master service is equal to, sorry, new master service of fake as value service, okay, you can fake it like this, and here we can expect the master service dot, sorry, here dot get value to be fake value, that's it. So now here we can create a fake object, we can use a simple object with the required method to mimic the dependency. So this is one way how you can do it, and now if you try to check it here, this one also works fine. So fake value from the object, this is also working fine. And the last one is the using the spy. So using the Jasmine spy method, so we can mock the dependency. This allows you to track the method calls and their arguments also. So for this one what I will try to do it is, so here at the last I will try to do it hash get value should return stubbed value, okay, this is called as stubbed value normally. So here what I will try to do here, first of all we need to create a spy object. So for this one constant value service spy, so we are creating a spy object. So using the Jasmine dot create spy object, okay, we can use the create spy object, and for what is that name, so that is nothing but value service, okay, and the method which I want to do it is a get value, okay, so this is the method which I want to have. So that's it. And now here you can have a stub value, that is nothing but stub value, so I will create a stub value only. Now here, so what I want to do is value service spy dot, okay, dot get value dot end, okay, and dot return value. So I need to use the return value for this one. So return value should be that stub value, that's it. So I am trying to mock this all the things. So fine. So now here I can do constant master service is equal to new master service of, and here I can do the value service by, so I can send this one, and here I can check that expect the master service dot get value, and it should be dot to be the stub value, so I can use something like stub value. So this is one way. So now I can check it this one also. So now here you will be able to see this one also, the test case also it has been passed. So you will be able to see the stubbed value. So now here what I am trying to do here, creating a spy object, and I am trying to return the value with this one. So what is the use of using this one is, I can check the call count also. Expect of value service by dot, okay, dot get value. So how many times it has been called? So calls dot count. So you can check the count, and it should be called only once. Okay, so that is one thing. And now here also you can check that most recent value, and these all the things also we can check it. Just I am trying to show you. So if I try to show you with the 2 means, then let's try to see whether we can able to get an output or an error. Let's try to see it. So now here, so masters get, so here expected 1 to be 2. So here it is expected 1. That's it. So this is how, these are the different ways how we can test the dependency of the services. First one is just directly injecting the real value service, and here we are trying to create a fake service, and here we are creating a fake object, and here we are using the Jasmine spy object, and we are trying to do it. These are the different ways how we can do it. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video, and if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. So in this video, we will try to learn about the overview of the Angular dependency injection and how we can test this Angular dependency injection using the Angular testing utilities. So Angular dependency injection is a design pattern where objects or services are created and supplied to other objects that need them. So the DI system automatically resolves the dependencies for the services and their nested dependencies. You don't need to worry about the construction or dependency chain, and testing involves understanding the dependencies and optionally mocking them. So I will try to show you about this one. So testing the services in Angular using the test bed. The test bed utility is a critical tool for testing in Angular. It creates a dynamic Angular testing module similar to as a ng module and lets you configure services for the testing. So I will try to show you one by one. So steps to test a simple service. So normally we have a value service, so which we already have it, get value, and setting up the test bed. So for this value service and for this one, so how we can test this one is, so normally, so let's go to the value service.spec.ts. I will remove this entire code so that you will be able to understand it very clearly. So this is one way without using the Angular testing utilities how we can test the service. Now I will remove this entire code. So now what I want to do it is, so here I will use describe the value service, and here you will be having the like this, and now we will be writing the test cases. So first one is let service, which is of type value service, okay, and now here I will be writing the before each, okay, before each test case passing. So here it will try to execute this one. So now here in this I will be creating test bed dot configure. So we will be using the configure testing module. So we will be using this one. So this one will take an object, and in this object we need to provide the providers, so which is of type value service. That's it. So now we have provided it, and now we need to get the object for this one. So here, so service is equal to testbed dot inject of value service. That's it. So now we have injected the value service. So now we are able to get the object of this one. So now if you want to test it, means how you can test it is, it should return, or otherwise we are testing the hash get value, it should return value, should return the value. So here I can use expect of service dot get value to be real value. That's it. So this is how we will be testing it. So using the testing bed. So now if you want to test with dependencies, means I will try to show you. So now if you try to execute this one npm test, so let's try to see whether how it will, the output will come. So now if you check here, the test has been passed. The value service get value, it should return a value, so it has been passed. So this is how we will be checking with the test bed. So now normally this one doesn't have any dependencies for this one. This service is a standalone service and it doesn't have any dependencies. We have created this one. Now if you are having a dependencies like master.service, which is dependent on the value service, then if you want to test it with the test bed, means how we can do it. So I will try to show you this one also. So we know that this is dependent on the value service. So here we should mock the dependency. Okay, so using jasmine.create spy object to create a mock object for dependency, then we will provide the mock object using provide use value. So we need to use it like this. So let's try to use this one. So here I will use the describe master service. Here we will be having like this, and in this one, let's say we need to have a master service object. Okay, I am creating a variable like this, and here also we need to create a spy object, right? Value service, we need to create a spy object, spy of type jasmine dot create jasmine dot, so we need to import this jasmine. Okay, jasmine dot create, oh sorry, jasmine dot create spy object which is of type value service. That's it. Okay, so this is how you will be providing it. And here what we can do it is, so let's try to remove this jasmine thing. Okay, so now here we are having has no expected member. Did you mean the create spy, jasmine dot create spy? So let's try to see it afterwards. Create spy, we will use create spy value service, let value service which is of type, so we will try to check it, this one we will try to keep it as any only. So now here let's go into this one. So I will be using the before each for this one, and here I need to create a spy object. Constant spy is equal to, so here I will be having constant spy is equal to jasmine dot create spy object of, and here I need to create value service. So value service, and the methods which I need to have it is the get value. That's it. So this is the method I want to have it. So now we need to create it like this. Still we are getting error. So it has been removed. So now we got the jasmine dot create spy object of get value before each. So we got the spy. So now here we need to create a test bed. I will be creating the test bed dot configure testing module. Okay, and in this one we need to have a providers. So this is all, remember that we are using the dependency thing. So master service, and this master service is dependent on the provider service, right? Value service, right? So here I can use provide value service, and it needs to use the value. So use value, and that is nothing but the spy it needs to use it. That's it. So now here this master service, so we need to inject this master service under test and providers. This all is completed, right? So what could be the issue in this one? Nothing is there. Why it is creating issue? Is used before it is assigned. Oh sorry, here we need to have like this. Yeah, fine. So now here we got it. Now let's go to the here in this after before each, in this before each. Okay, in this before each only. So what I want to do here in this one, after completion of this one, so here we got this one. So let's try to use in this before each only. So here I will create master service is equal to testbed dot inject. I will use the inject of master service. So I will be getting the master service, and also I need to get the value service py also. Value service py is equal to testbed dot inject of value service as jasmine dot spy object, and which is of type value service. That's it. So you can have it like this type conversion, so that's not a problem. So now we got the master service and value service py. So now here, so we can test it. So now here we are using the hash get value should return the value from spy. Okay, and here I can use it something like this. So now here what we can do is, so let's try to take the return value. So return value is something like fake value or anything. So this is the value it should return, and here what I can do it is value service py dot get value dot and dot return value of, so you can use this fake value. So that is nothing but the return value, you can use it here directly. So that is nothing. So now here expect master service dot get value to be return value, that is nothing but the fake value, and here expect master value service py dot get value dot calls dot count to be 1. Okay, so this is how we have checked it, right? So we can also check it like this. That's it. So now if you are able to check this one, so let's see that browser bundle generation completed. Yeah, success. And if you try to see the output for this one, so here the get value from spy is also passed. So I will try to explain you this one. So mocking the dependency. So here we are using the jasmine.createSpy object creates a mock object for the value service. The mock object has the same interface get value method but no implementation. So that is the main thing. So here it will have the same implementation, the methods but no implementation. Now here providing the configure test module includes the mock object using provide value use value. So here we are using provide value service use value of spy. Now injecting the services. So we are injecting the master service and the value service spy retrieves the mock dependency and also retrieves the service under test. So here. So now testing with the mock means, so we are taking the stub value, the return value get value, and we are using it n dot return value and it will return this value. So now we are verifying that method returns the stub value or not, and also we are checking that the spy method has been called once or not. So this is what we will be trying to test it. So this is how we will be using the test bed in order to test the services with the dependency. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. In this video, we will learn about the testing of the Angular services that make the HTTP calls, especially focusing on a service that interacts with an Angular HTTP client. So we will not use the HTTP client testing module. So I will try to explain you about this one, but I will try to show you how we can do it with using the Jasmine, how to use a spy object to mock the HTTP client in UnitTest, allowing you to test your services without making actual HTTP requests. So I will try to provide you a clear explanation and a full working example of testing some basic service. I will try to take it and using Jasmine and Angular testing utilities, we'll try to do it. So that means now this video is regarding testing of the Angular service which makes an HTTP calls. I am not using the Angular HTTP testing client testing module. I will try to do it in our upcoming videos. First I will try to show you without using the HTTP client testing module how we can test an Angular service which makes an HTTP call using the Jasmine spy object and all those things. So fine. So for this one, what I will be trying to do it is I will create a hero service. So which you normally you will be able to see the testing thing. So where most probably you will be able to see it in our examples or something like that. So here I will try to create a hero.service.ts file. So let's try to make it hero.service.ts file. Okay. So this is our service file. It can be any service. So here in this one, we will try to make an HTTP call via HTTP client service. So you people already know about the HTTP client. In testing, you mock the HTTP client using a Jasmine spy object to simulate its behavior. The test ensures that the service behaves as expected. It should return the correct data when the HTTP call is success, and it should handle the error appropriately when the HTTP call fails. So these are the two testing scenarios which we need to test it. So steps for this one is what we'll try to do. So first we will create jasmine.createSpy object to create a mock and inject this mock into the service being tested, and we will use the helper functions like async data and async error to simulate the HTTP call, and we will write the test to validate the both success and the failure scenarios. So let's try to see it. So first of all, I will create an HTTP client for this one. So here the service is there. So let's say that export interface, I will be having a simple interface hero. Okay, in this one you will have simple ID, number, and also the name of type string. So this is a simple example which I would be trying to explain you. And here what I will be having is, so let's try to create @injectable. So it should be injectable and it should be provided in root. So this is the common thing which you people already know. And export class hero service. Okay, so this is our hero service, and here let's try to do it. Yeah, hero service. And here you will be having let's say a base URL. You are having a base URL. Let's say that /API/heroes or something. So any URL. So it can be any URL. So just I am trying to take the base URL, something like this. So you can have some JSON placeholder URL or something like that. But here purely we are concentrating on the testing. So I am trying to use it like this. And we can inject the HTTP client. HTTP client is equal to inject of HTTP client. You can use this like this, or otherwise you can use the constructor also to inject the HTTP client. So get heroes. So we will be having a method get heroes which returns an observable of hero, and here you can return this dot HTTP client. Sorry, this dot HTTP client dot get method. So we'll call the get method, and this returns a hero, array of hero. Okay, and here I can use this dot base URL. That's it. So now this one returns an observable. Okay, observable of hero. That's it. So here base URL is equal to, so let's remove this one. Yeah, that's it. So now this is our thing, or otherwise you can also use heroes URL. Okay, so base URL means it will something like it differs, the meaning will change. This is our service file. Now we need to write the testing service for this one. Okay, so we need to write the test case for this one. So let's try to write the test case for this one. So here what happened to this one? What is wrong in this one? Let's see. Nothing is there. So let's go and create our hero.spec.ts file. So okay, hero.service.spec.ts file. So this is our spec file. So let's try to implement. So for this one, so first what you will do, describe. This is common hero service. Okay. So now here you will be having the test cases. So first one, let's create the I will have a before each function. So for each test case it will execute before each. Okay, and in this before each, so this takes a method. Okay, and here you will be having HTTP client spy object, HTTP client spy object. So we need to create the HTTP client spy object, Jasmine dot create spy object, and the spy object is nothing but which we will try to create is the HTTP client, and in this one we will have only one method. So we are mocking only one method, that is nothing but get method. Okay, so now let's try to create this method at the top so that it can be accessible everywhere. So here HTTP client spy, which is of type what you can say is it is of type Jasmine object. So Jasmine dot which is of type Jasmine. So here you can have let. Okay, let which is of Jasmine dot spy object. You can have a spy object, and which is of type HTTP client. So you are making it as like this. So that's it. So now what you will try to do here, we need to create a service. Okay, hero service. So let's try to have a hero service is equal to new hero service, and we need to pass the HTTP client spy object. Okay, as like this one. So now we can send this, and hero service, it should be something like let hero service of type hero service. Okay, and here we are getting an object. Okay, so this one we need to use the client testing module, so that's why we are getting this issue. So we, instead of this one, we'll use a constructor private HTTP client of type HTTP client. Okay, that's it. So we can also use it like this, and this also works without any problem. So now we got the hero service and everything. Now what I would be trying to do it is, so here we got these things, right? So let's try to what I would be trying to do. This one is so fine. So this is done. Now before each is done, okay, before each, so we have created this one all. So first one is test case. It should return expected heroes. Okay, so it should return expected heroes. That is nothing but HTTP client called once, and also it should be called only once, and here we need to call the function. So here we will be writing this test case, and another one is it. So the another test case which you will be writing is it should return an error when the server returns 404. So this one also we need to test cases. So now these are the two test cases we need to write. So when it is a success scenario and also when it is a failure scenario. So first of all we need to check it with a success scenario whether the HTTP call is making the request or not. Whether if it is failing means it is successfully making a request or not. And also we need to make sure that HTTP client request or HTTP request should be made only once. And here also like that only. So in the next video what we will try to do is we will try to implement the functionality and also the logic how we can implement the success scenario and also the error scenario. So this is how we will be implementing the simple hero service and also the hero service.spec.ts file. Hope you understood about this concept. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. So we are testing the hero service call which makes an HTTP calls here. So which will be using the HTTP client library to make an HTTP calls. We are doing it. Now we are testing this get heroes without using the HTTP client testing module. I will try to show you that one in the next video also. So using the Jasmine create spy object, we will be testing this method. So now what this get heroes method will do, it will try to make a get request using the HTTP client library for the some URL, any API URL, and it will return the observable of heroes, array of hero, it will return as an observable. Now let's try to test this get heroes method, the success scenario and also the failure scenario. So that means if this request has been successfully made, then it will return an array of heroes. Or otherwise, if this has been failed due to the some 404 error or 500 server error or something like that, it will return error. So try to test this both the scenarios, how it will handle this situations. So first one which we will be trying to do it is the here in the spec.ts. So this is the success scenario. So it should return expected heroes, HTTP client, and also we need to test that HTTP client should be called only once. So fine, let's try to test this one. So here I will be writing constant. So we will try to create some mock response. Okay, so here I will be creating hero. It's an array of hero. Okay, and this one returns an array of data. So here I will be having ID of 1 and name of a, anything. So whichever it may be you want, you can do it. And here I can do ID of 2, and here you will be having name of b. Okay, so these are the two things which I will be trying to do it. So hero, it should be imported hero, fine. So this is our mock response. So let's try to add it to the spy object. So HTTP client spy dot get request. So whoever may be calling this get method, and it should return the value. Okay, return the value. So what is that return value it should return? It should return the observable. So off, we should be an off. Okay, it should be imported from this one, and here I can write the expected heroes. That's it. So now it will return an observable of data. Why? Because that method will return observable of data. Now here I will be calling hero service dot get heroes. So I am calling this service and I will be subscribing to this method so that it will return the data. So here I will be having two scenarios, that is nothing but next scenario. So upon successfully getting the data, and here, so here we need to call the heroes. So we will be getting the heroes here. So in this method, so now here I need to check whether expect heroes. So here whatever the data I am getting the heroes, so it should with context. Okay, with context. So here I can write expected heroes with expected data. I am trying to check it with context expected heroes, or otherwise you don't write it also, not a problem. And here I will be checking within 2 equal. It should be equal with the expected heroes, whatever the data I am trying to send it. And also here, so we are calling this observable data, so we need to expect this one, right? So we need to add in here done function. So this when this done function is called, then only this test case will be completed. So here we will be calling this done method. If you don't write this done method means, so here it will call and it will end the testing scenario. And here if you are getting this error means, so here if you are having an error means, then you can tell that this is a done dot fail. Okay, so why? Because it should not get to the error request. That's it. Fail the test if an error is executed. So here we have expected this one. That's it. So now, and also you can also check another scenario in such a way that this get heroes should be called, right? Expect of HTTP client spy object, okay, dot get dot calls, okay, calls dot count. So it should be count should be equal to be 1. So it should call only one time. That's it. So now here this is the success scenario. So if you want to check this success scenario, so you can call this the command that is nothing but npm test. So we can call this npm test. Let's try to see whether we can able to test this scenario or not. Let's try to check it. So it will take some time to test the scenarios. It will open the Karma test runner tool. Let it open. Hey guys, if you try to see here, so you will be able to see that it should return expected heroes HTTP client call 1. So the test has been passed here. But this one, the specs has no expectations, it is saying. Why? Because so we haven't implemented that one. So let's try to implement the error scenario also. So here you will be able to see. And another, oh, sorry. Okay, let's try to click on this one. So I'm clicking. Okay, so here it should return expected services, hero service. It's done. So now let's try to implement the another one, that is nothing but the error scenario. So how we can implement this error scenario? Let's try to implement this error scenario also, then we can close this session. So here the error scenario which you will be able to see, this one is, so here this is the error scenario. Now, so then now we should not, now there is no need to add this expected hero scenario and all those things. So just we need to have an error response. So let's try to create an error response for this one. So constant error response, error response is equal to new HTTP error response. So you can have it like this, and here I will be trying to send the error. So the error which we will be trying to send it is the test 404 error. So I am trying to send it, and here I will be trying to check the status which is of type 404. Okay, and I will be using the status text. Okay, and the status text is not 4. So just we can have this simple example. Now what I will be trying to do here, okay, so now we need to send the error for this one. So here we need to send the error. So how we can send this one is, so here we can use something like HTTP client spy dot, we need to call the get method, and it should return the value dot return value. So what it should return? It should return the throw error. So what type of error it need to throw? That is nothing but error response. That's it. So throw error of error response. That's it. So now this is the method. This is the thing which it needs to throw error of error response. Fine. So now we are throwing the error response. Now let's try to call this one. So here I will be calling hero service dot get heroes. Okay, we are calling this get heroes. Now when we are calling this get heroes, so we will be having the subscribe method. That's a common thing, and we will be having the next method. So when it goes into the next method means, so we know that it should be failed, done dot fail. So here we should have a done function. Whenever you are having this what I want to say, asynchronous calls or something like that means, so then you need to have a done dot fail of, if you want to have expected an error not success. So this is the thing. And if you are having another one, something like, okay, here you need to call the method. Okay, then only you will be able to get. So now here you will be having an error. So here you can have error. So this is the error which you will be getting, and here I can do expect of error dot message. So which you will be able to get the message dot to contain. Okay, and this is the error message which you will be able to see, test 404 error. So you can write it directly like this, that's it. And also you can call the done function. Okay, and that's it. So this is all about this one. So here if I try to check the scenario, so here it is working fine, and here if you try to see, if I refresh this page, now you should be able to have a expect scenarios. So HTTP failure response unknown URL 404 not found to content test 404 error. Okay, 404 to content test 404 error. So error dot message. So here what it would be expecting. So here what is the error, what is the message we have written? It could be something wrong, I think. Let me check. Error dot message to contain. So what is this one? HTTP failure response of for unknown URL 404 not found to contain. Okay, we are getting 404 not found, I think. Okay, fine, let's try to write this one only. Nothing not going to happen. Let's try to see the output scenario for this one. Yeah, now it has been passed. The hero service also has been passed. So this is how we will be checking this one. So now what I want to tell you is so here what we have did the test setup. So let's try to understand the clear one by one the test setup. So which we have created that Jasmine.create spy object. If you try to see here, we have created it will create a spy object for HTTP client with a get method and hero service initialization. So we pass the mock HTTP client to the hero service constructor. So we have did it. And success scenario, testing the success scenario, simulate a successful HTTP get response with this with the here off function with an observable data, and we are verifying that whether the return heroes matching the expected heroes and the get method on the spy was called exactly once or not. And the error scenario what we are trying to do here, we are simulating the error response 404 and we are verifying the error handler captures the error message as expected and the test fails if the service unexpectedly returns the heroes. So now this is how we are trying to do it. So now here the key concepts what we need to do it is spice. We have used the Jasmine spice to mark the dependencies and simulate their behavior. And observable testing. Subscribing to the observables allows you to test both success and error scenarios. And another one is validating the results and checking the spy methods were called the expected number of times or not. So this is what we will be trying to do it. So hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. In this video, we will learn about the HTTP client testing module, how we can test the HTTP backend in the Angular. So normally what we will try to do it is, so when testing the applications that make an HTTP request, it is essential to mock the backend to simulate the interactions with a remote server. Normally how we have did it in our previous video, in order to simulate the or mock the HTTP request, so we have used the Jasmine spy object. So in the same scenario, for us, in order to make the backend to simulate the interactions, we need to mock the backend HTTP request. So now for this one, Angular, for this making especially the simulating this backend requests and all those things, Angular provides a library for us in which is present in Angular/common/HTTP/testing. So in this place, you will be having a library that is nothing but HTTP client testing library to facilitate this one. This library allows you to what it will try to do. So it will capture the HTTP request made by the application during test. So it will capture the HTTP request made by the application during test, and also it perform the assertions on this request to ensure the correct API calls are made. So this one is also will be made by this library, and also it will mock the responses to emulate the backend behavior, including errors or delays. And also verify no unexpected requests are made during the testing. So these are the 4 things which we can do it using this library, that is nothing but Angular client testing library. This approach ensures that the application behaves correctly under various backend scenarios without depending on the actual server. So why we will be doing this one all means, so instead of making a real request and all those things in the testing scenario, so we will be mocking the HTTP request, so that instead of making the actual request, so we can perform the various backend scenarios without depending on the actual server, we can do it. So how the testing pattern works? So normally how the testing pattern works? So testing pattern works in 4 ways. So I will try to explain you about that one also. application executes the code. So application executes the code. The app makes HTTP request during the test. Okay. So first one is this one. Test inspects the request. Test check which requests were made and assert their correctness. Example, verifying the request URL or HTTP method like this. So it will test these scenarios. And the mock the responses. Test simulate the backend responses by flushing the expected requests with mock data or errors. So test simulate the backend responses. So it will simulate the backend responses by flushing the expected requests with mock data or errors. Verify no unexpected requests are made. So after all responses are flushed, test confirm that no extra or unintended HTTP calls are made. So these are the testing pattern, how the testing pattern works in this one. So the next one, what we will try to do it is, we will set up for the testing how to configure the testing environment, and we will see expecting and answering the request, capturing and responding to the HTTP calls in the test. So we'll try to see these scenarios, and also handling the multiple requests, managing the scenarios where multiple requests are made, and advanced matching, performing the detailed matching of requests beyond basic URL or method checks. And also we will try to check the testing error handling these scenarios also. We'll try to check in our upcoming videos. So let's try it. I will try to show you the scenarios what we will try to do. Testing the error handling. For example, if an error has been occurred means, so testing how the app handles various types of errors, including backend errors, server side errors like 500 internal server, network errors, connectivity problems or timeouts, and we will also check about this HTTP interceptor testing also. So how we can test the interceptors work correctly or not, we'll try to see. So now before testing the HTTP client in Angular, first of all, so we need to, now we understood, right, what are the things we will be trying to test. So now before testing the HTTP client in Angular, you need to configure your testing environment using the test bed. This involves providing specific dependencies. First one is provide HTTP client. So this one you people already know about this one. Provide HTTP client configures the Angular's HTTP client in your test. And the last one is the provide HTTP client testing, replaces the real HTTP backend with the testing backend. So now this one provides you the real backend HTTP methods, and if you use this one, it will replace all the real backend HTTP methods with the testing backend methods. So that is the thing. And here you need to understand that always add provide HTTP client before the provide HTTP client testing. Why? Because so if you provide this one in the first and this one second means, so what are the methods provided in this one will be overridden by this. If you don't provide this one top and this one means, so then the methods will not be overridden. This is because provide HTTP client testing overrides parts of the HTTP client. Reversing the order might break your test. So that is the thing. So now how you can test this one. So for example, if you want to test this one is, so here for example, let's say that this is our testing, right? So here you need to be in the before each here. So here you can do the test bed. Okay. So you need to import the test bed from the Angular code testing and .configure testing module. So you will be having a method that is nothing but configure testing module. So this is the method which you will be having, and this takes the object just like the module how it will take. And here you can provide the providers. In this provider you need to provide the two things, that is nothing but provide HTTP client testing. So first of all you need to provide HTTP client, and that one is taking some time. Yeah, provide HTTP client which should be imported from the Angular common HTTP, and the another one is provide HTTP client testing. So you need to have provide HTTP client testing. So this one should be imported from the HTTP/testing. So these are the two things which you need to provide. That's it. So here you should not provide semicolon, comma. So after setting up, you can inject HTTP testing controller from testing bed to interact with the mock backend. So here you need to have a testing thing. So here you can have constant HTTP testing. So this is the HTTP testing controller. So here you can have HTTP testing is equal to testbed dot inject. So you can inject the HTTP testing controller, HTTP testing controller. That's it. So now we have injected this one. How this works? Once the setup is complete, all HTTP requests made during your test will go to the testing backend, HTTP testing controller. So this HTTP testing instead of the real server. So you can now use the HTTP testing to make. So now you can use this HTTP testing to capture the HTTP requests, to perform the assertions, to provide the mock responses and all those things. So we will be using this HTTP testing. So that is the thing. So now what we have learned about this one. So in this thing, so we have successfully learned how to test, how to set up the HTTP client testing module in our test cases we have seen. So now in our upcoming videos, what we'll try to do it is, so we will try to do these all the things we'll try to implement it. So there is nothing but expecting and answering requests, how to intercept the specific requests and respond with the mock data, advanced matching, techniques for matching requests based on headers, body content or query parameters, and testing the error handling requests also we'll try to set, simulating the backend or network errors to ensure your app behaves as expected, and testing the interceptors, verifying that custom interceptors correctly modify requests or handle the responses. So hope you understood about this setup guide. So how to set up the what I want to say is HTTP backend in the Angular using the HTTP testing control client testing module. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Webdev. In this video, we will try to test the services which will make the HTTP request in Angular using the provide HTTP client and also the provide HTTP client testing. So let's try to implement this one. So now I will try to explain you about this one step-by-step procedure of this. So let's say that we will go to our hero.service.ts file. So here we are having an heroes URL and we are having a get heroes method which is making in return a HTTP get request. And we are calling some base URL. If you want, you can also add this one. So just for testing purpose, I have added it. Yeah. So now it is making a heroes URL. So now what I want to do, I want to write this testing scenario using the provide HTTP client testing. So how I can write this one? Let's try to implement this. So first one, what I will try to do is describe. So we are trying to test the hero service. Okay. Hero service. And here I will explain you one by one scenario, these all the things. So first one, what I will try to do it is before each. Okay. So first one is in the before each. So every time when the test case is executing, so in the before each, what I will try to, I will create a test bed. So test bed dot configure testing module of, and here you need to create the providers, and in this provider, first one you need to provide HTTP client, and the next one you need to provide is the provide HTTP client testing. Okay, so these are the two things which you need to provide. So fine, so now we have provided it, we need to have a HTTP testing controller. So for this one, HTTP testing which is of type HTTP testing controller. That's it. So now we need to get this one. So HTTP testing is equal to testbed dot inject of HTTP testing controller. That's it. So now we got the HTTP testing controller. So now next one, what we need to do, it is the hero service. So let's try to get a hero service. Let hero service of type hero service. So we need to get the instance of this hero service also. Now here hero service is equal to testbed dot inject of hero service. That's it. So it will provide all the provider necessary dependencies, whatever it is required for this one. Testbed will provide those things. Now before each is completed. So now, now what I can do it is, so I can do it should make a get request call. So just I will be writing it like this. So now what I need to do, so first I need to call the heroes. So here I can write constant heroes, so which you will get this one, heroes service dot get heroes. So we got this one, we will get this one as in what I mean to say, observable. So I will try to convert it into a promise, hero promise. Let's say that hero promise is equal to, so we have a rxjs method, that is nothing but first value from, so which will subscribe to that observable and takes the first value as in it will written as a promise. So heroes dollar, that's it. So now we got the promise. So here I need to create the request is equal to http testing dot expect one. So only one call should be expected, that is nothing but API slash heroes. So this is the only call which I will be expecting. Now the next one what I want to do it is expect, I will be calling here request dot method. So which should be method which we will be calling, it should be to be of get request. Okay, and I will create the dummy data, that is nothing but id 1 and the name is of type A. So now I will mock the request. So here for mocking the request what I can do it is request dot flush. So you will be having the flush and I will send this data. So now this will be sent as a response. So here I can write expect of, so we will be await the request. So we need to keep the async here, await hero promise, okay, dot to equal of data, that's it. So now at last we need to give http testing dot verify. So in order to check that whether it is not making any calls, that's it. So now if I try to do npm test, so it will take some time to test it. So let it open. So now you will be able to see the test case has been passed here. Hero service should make a get request call, it has been passed. So now let's try to understand one by one the scenario what we have did it. So here I will try to explain you about this one. So environment setup what we have did it, we have configured the testing module. So now we have used this provide HTTP client and provide HTTP client testing. So you need to remember that. So provide HTTP client should be before this provide HTTP client testing, so that whatever the methods and all those things is provided in this HTTP client will be overridden by the HTTP client testing. So if you reverse the order means, so you cannot expect the correct test case results. So now this one is completed, injecting the dependencies. So we are able to see that HTTP testing controller, it is a tool used to intercept and verify the HTTP requests. And testing the HTTP request means, so here we have used the HTTP testing dot expect one. This is to intercept the request and verify its properties. So here we are checking that verifying the properties for this one. Mocking the HTTP request. So we have used the request.flush, sends a mock response to the intercept request, and we can send whatever the request you want, you can send it. And here once the mock response is flushed means it is sent, the service should handle it correctly, and we used the assertions to verify that the response matches the mock data or not. And we are ensuring that no unexpected requests are made by calling HTTP testing verify in the here. So if you want to do it means we can do it in that after each, so that whenever after everything is completed, so it will try to do this one. So this is also one thing which you people can do it. Okay, so this one also you can implement it after each. So instead of writing it everywhere, so you can do it like this. So expect one behavior if more than one request matches the criteria, example this URL. So here you will be able to see, so this one, so it will fail. You can also use an expected form to specify both URL HTTP, also you can mention it, that's not a problem. And so calling verify ensures all the requests are accounted for, preventing unexpected or forgotten requests from passing silently. So this verify request will check all those things. So this is all about this one. So this test verifies a get request. So what it will try to do here, this case verifies that a get request was made to API/heroes, and also the method was get, and the service correctly processed the mock response, and we are able to say that no unexpected requests are being made. So with these steps you can confidently test HTTP requests in Angular services. So this is how you will be making the request. So hope you understood about this concept. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video, we will try to learn about this Angular HTTP testing controller to handle more than one request, and all those things we'll try to see how we can do it. So normally, first scenario what we will try to do it is handling more than one request once. So if you want to handle more than one request at once means, in tests normally what you will try to do it is, so here I will try to explain you before writing a simple example for this one. So in tests, if you expect multiple requests with the same criteria, example multiple get requests, you can use the match API instead of the expect one. So match returns an array of matching requests. after calling match, the return requests are removed from the future matching. So you must manually handle flushing and verifying the requests. So I will try to do it. So that means this match thing, we can use it if you are using the multiple requests. So then it will return an array of matching requests. After calling the match, the return requests are removed from the returned requests are removed from future matching. You must manually handle the flushing and verifying the requests. I will try to show you regarding this one. So for this, what we can do it is, so describe what I can do is HTTP client handle multiple requests. So this is the request which I want to follow. So here what I can do, so we will be having let HTTP testing, which is of type HTTP testing controller, and the another one which you can have it is the HTTP client. So here I will be using the HTTP client, which is of type HTTP client. So here I will be making the request HTTP client. So this could be imported from the HTTP Angular common HTTP. So here I will be importing this one. So now this one will be HTTP client. Now here what I will be trying to do it, so we can use the before each. Okay, so before each, and in this before each, so we can use the testbed dot configure the testing module, and in this one what you need to provide, you need to provide the providers and in this providers, so you need to use provide HTTP client, and you need to provide HTTP client testing. So these two are the things you need to provide. And after finishing this one, so here HTTP testing is equal to testbed dot inject. So we need to inject the HTTP testing controller, and another one is HTTP client. You need to get the HTTP client is equal to testbed dot inject of HTTP client. That's it. So these are the things which you will be trying to do it. So now up to here it is finished. So now after each, so you can use this after each, so that we can check that no response, no request will be made. So now here I can write something like HTTP testing dot verify. That's it. So now we have used this verify also. Now what we need to do here, we need to make the multiple calls. So here it should handle multiple get requests. So this is the method which I would be trying to call it. Now for this one, what I would be trying to do it is, so for handling the multiple get requests, so here I can write something like HTTP client dot get of slash API slash data1, and I can subscribe to this one. Okay, and the another one is, so you can call again, another one is slash data2, and you can subscribe to this one, and again I can call data3 and subscribe to this one. So we are trying to make it multiple, sending multiple get requests. So here what I can do here, so constant all get requests, so I can check it. So here you can use HTTP testing dot match. So we need to use the match, and here we will be checking all the requests and all those things are get requests or not. Okay, so this is the thing which you will be trying to do, get requests or not. Now I will try to do, so here all get requests, expect all get requests dot, so here you will be able to see dot length to be 3. So it has made 3 requests, right? So we can check it like this. And also if you try to test it, so here we are able to generate this one, and here if you try to test this one, let us see. So here you will be able to see the HTTP client handle multiple requests. So here you will be able to see should handle multiple get requests got true. So now that means we are able to successfully, we can able to see that 3 requests has been made. And if you want to flush the data means, so we need to flush it each. So if you want to send the mock data means, so you need to send each one by one. All get requests of 0 dot flush of, so here you can use data response for slash API slash data1. So like this you can use it. So now for second one, if you want to do it, it means for 1, and for second one means for 2. So like this, if you want to send the data means, so you will be sending it like this. So in this way we can handle the multiple requests. So if you are trying to handle the multiple requests means, we can do it. In our previous video what we have did it, so we have checked the HTTP client using the promise, right? So we can also use it with the subscribe also. For example, let's say that we are having a hero service. Let's try to take the hero service, right? And here I can get the hero service is equal to testbed dot inject of hero service. So now we got the hero service, and here if you want to check it, it should call the HTTP request. So here what I can do, so hero service dot get heroes. So we are calling to this one and we are subscribing to this one. That's it. Okay, so I have subscribed to this one. So now I need to make the request, right? So here I can do constant request is equal to HTTP testing dot expect one of get request. So we can able to see that we are able to call the get request or not. So now we can able to get the request, and here expect one of /API/heroes. So this is the URL we need to check it, and here I can check it expect of request dot method dot to be get request. So you can check it like this. So this one also, it will also becomes true. So here you will be able to see this one also becomes true. So hopefully if I have tried to check it, so this one also should call the HTTP request, this will also call true. Previously we used to convert this one to the promise using the first value from, and if you want to send the data means constant data is equal to, here I can do ID1 and the name of type A. Okay, and here I can do request dot flush of data. So we are sending the data, and here you will be able to get the heroes data, and here you can check expect of heroes dot to equal of data. So you can check it like this also. Now this is also well and fine. So now if you try to check the output, so it will work fine without any problem. So like this also, if you want to check it, so you can check it like this also. So it's not a problem. So this is also one way, or otherwise you can, instead of subscribing that one, you can convert it into a promise and you can check it. So this is how we will be handling the multiple get requests using the provide HTTP clienting test module. So hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. So we will try, in this video we will try to learn about the expect one and also the expect none functions, which are a part of the Angular's HTTP testing controller API used for unit testing in the HTTP requests. So these functions allow us to match the HTTP request based on a custom criteria by providing a predicate function, a function that returns true for a match and false otherwise. So let's try to see about this one. So first one which we will try to learn it is the expect one method. So the expect one method verifies that exactly one request matches the provided criteria. It throws an error if no request matches the criteria. More than one request matches the criteria. You can pass a predicate function also to expect one to define custom logic for matching a request. So for example, let's say that you will be having a simple example I will try to show you. It should match a request with a non-null body, let's assume. So that means, so it should match a request for this one which has a body. So now here I will try to make a call HTTP client dot get of, so anything, any URL I will try to make it /API/data. So I am taking a call here, and what I will try to do, so I will send the value for this one. Okay, so here for post request you will send the value, and here you will be having key value, and I will subscribe to this one, subscribe. So I have subscribed to this one, and now what I would be trying to do it is, so now we have subscribed to this one. So let's try to test that. So here constant request is equal to HTTP testing dot. So here we will be writing that expect one request should be there. So that should be request, and it should have a predicate function request dot body is not equal to null. So we are passing the body right here, key value we are passing the body. So we are trying to check it, this one. And now here you can write expect request dot method to be post, okay, dot to be post request. So you can also check it like this. And also if you want to check it, you can also check that expect of request dot body. So you can take the body and you need to you can check with an equal case, and that is nothing but key value. So we can check it with an equal case, that is nothing but key value. So like this you can do it. So now here what we are trying to do, so request body is not equal to null. It is a predicate function that matches any request within the body. If the predicate function matches more than one request or none at all, means then the error is thrown. If we try to see the request for this one, so here you will be able to see we should match a request with a non-null body, it is working fine. Now the next one is the expect none, verifying no matches. The expect none method verifies that no requests match the given criteria. If any request matches, it throws an error. So for this one what you can do it is, so here you can write scenario, it should assert anything, you can check it, that no mutation requests have been issued. So you can check it like this, and here you can write, so you will be calling HTTP client dot, you can slash API slash data dot subscribe, okay, and here you can check constant request is equal to HTTP, okay, so HTTP testing dot expect one, that also should be slash API slash data. So we are checking it like this, and here you can also check HTTP testing dot expect none, and the request should be, okay, request you will be getting, and here request dot method you can check it not equal to get, you can check it like this, okay. Now here if you want you can write expect request dot method dot to be get, you can also write it like this, that's not an issue. So you can also write like, now if you try to check it, so this also works without any problem. So now here you will be say should assert that no mutation, so this also, so here we are trying to check expect none, so we should have only the get request, other than get request should not be performed. So we are not trying to check within like this. So not equal to get means, so it is a predicate function that matches any request, that is not a get request. That test asserts that no non-get request, example post, put, delete, were issued. So now key points what we need to do it is predicate function, a custom function passed to the expect one, expect none determines if a request matches the specific criteria or not. The function receives a HTTP request object and returns true for a match. Expect one means verifies exactly one request matches the criteria here, and it throws an error if no request matches. So verifies no request matches the criteria for expect none, throws an error if any request match here, other than get request, if any request match means then it will throw an error. So that is the scenario. So now in the real world scenario what I will try to show you is, so how you will try to do it in a real world scenario is, it should send only a get request and no other HTTP requests. So you can check it like this. So here I can write it something like, so here you can call two things, that is nothing but HTTP client dot get of, let's say slash API slash items, we are trying to do it, and I am subscribing to this one, okay, and I am subscribing to this one, and here I will try to make another request also, HTTP client dot post of slash API slash items, okay, and here I am trying to check name item 1 or something like that, I can check it, okay, item dot subscribe. So here I am trying to make two requests. So now we are making a two request, so verify the get request. So here I can check it something like constant get request is equal to, so mock HTTP HTTP testing dot, so expect one, so we are expecting only one, that is nothing but request, so which is request dot method is equal to get request, and also request dot URL is equal to slash API slash items. So we can check it like this. So now we got the request thing, and here you can check in such a way that expect the get request dot method to be get. So we can check it like this, and also we can check another one in such a way that, so mock HTTP testing dot expect none request dot method is equal to put. So this none of the things should be verified. And now if you try to check it, so here you can so this one is not needed, and here what you can do it is, so here you can test in such a way that, so like this we can check this all the requests and all those things. So in this real time we will be doing. So this is how we will be using the expect one scenario and also the expect none scenario. So in this way we will be using this expect one and the expect none scenario. So hope you understood about this concept. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. In this video, we will try to test the HTTP request, so which will handle the error handling. To test the backend error handling in Angular application, you typically use the Angular's client testing. This provide client, HTTP client testing only will be using. This module provides utilities like HttpTestingController, which allows you to simulate and test HTTP requests without actually making the network calls. Now in this video, we will try to see about testing how an application responds to backend errors by simulating a failed HTTP request. So let's try to understand one by one. So for this one, what I will try to do it is, I will create a new service so that you people can able to understand it very clearly. So config.service.ts file. Okay, so this is our config.service.ts file. So here what I will try to do it is, so here we will be having a simple class that is nothing but config service. Okay, and in this one I will write get config. So this one will return a failed HTTP request. Okay, so I will try to show you, and here return this dot HTTP. Okay, so for this one we need to have a constructor, and here you can have private HTTP client. That's it. Now here I can use something like this dot HTTP dot get request. I will try to make a get request, and we will make a dummy API call, that is nothing but API slash config. And now if you try to check it with the pipe symbol dot pipe, and we will be having catch error. So if anything errors comes, so normally we will use the catch error, and here you will be getting the error. And in this error, what you will try to do, here we will try to catch the error. So we can do the console.error. So you can map the console.error, you can do it, and here error fetching config, and you can write the error here. That's it. And next one is, we need to return throw error, and here we need to write in such a way that new error of failed to fetch the configuration. Okay, so that's it. So now this is our error scenario. Now let's try to go to the unit testing. So let's try to implement the unit testing. So now we are making HTTP call here, and this HTTP call, when it fails means, so we are throwing an error, failed to fetch configuration. Let's try to see the scenario here. So here let's create a new file, that is nothing but config.service.spec.ts file. Okay, and in this one let's describe set up the unit testing is so let's try to set up the unit testing for this one, config service. So we can have a config service, and in this config service let's try to implement it here before each. So we will be having the before each, and in this before each what I will try to do, so I will implement this before each. Let's have a let service. Okay, sorry, testbed dot configure testing module, and in this one you need to provide providers, and in this providers you will be using the, previously we used to use the HTTP client testing module. So this is the module which we will be using it, but this one is deprecated, so we need to use the provide HTTP client, and also the provide HTTP client testing, provide HTTP client testing. Okay, so these two are the things which you need to provide, and you can remove this one, so which is deprecated one. So fine, so now we have provided this thing, and here you can have let HTTP testing. So these all the things are common, you people know about this one, HTTP testing controller. Okay, and you need to have a config service which is of type config service. So we need to get the instance of this config service also. So let's try to get the config service. That's it. So now here what I can do, HTTP testing is equal to, let's close this one. Yeah, HTTP testing is equal to testbed dot inject. So we will be injecting the HTTP testing controller, and we need to get the config service instance also. So here we will be doing is equal to testbed dot inject, will inject the config service. That's it. So fine, we have described this one. So we can also use the after each, so that you can check whether no HTTP requests are made. So HTTP testing dot verify, that's it. So it will try to check whether other than no HTTP requests are making. Now we need to test the failure scenario. So here it should handle the error correctly. That is nothing but backend error or anything, whatever it may be. So here we will be handling this one. So for this one, what we will try to do, here we will try to call the config service. Okay, config. Okay, we have given the spelling mistake. Config service, and this one should be like this, and here also it should be like this. Config service dot get config dot subscribe. So we are trying to make the request. So we will handle that request error separately. And here what I will try to do here, constant request is equal to HTTP testing dot expect one of slash API slash config. So this is the API call which it should be making. So this is the only call which should be making. Okay, and here you can expect request dot method. Okay, you can use the method dot to be get. So this one also we have made it. And another one what we need to do is, so we need to send the response. So request dot flush. So here I will be sending the response as status as 500. So I will say I am sending the status as 500, and status text, if you want to send it, you can send it internal server error. So this is the flush message I am sending. So whenever you are trying to send the message in the subscribe, we need to capture it. So here if you are trying to capture it, so here you will be having two scenarios. One is next scenario when you get the success. So when you are getting the success means you need to test should be in error state. So error we should get it, or otherwise if you are getting the error means then you will get the error here. Okay, and here you will be writing expect of request dot, so here you will request of error dot message you will be having the error dot message dot to be. So what is the message you will be getting? So here if you try to see in our config.error, so here we will be sending this message. So you need to check that whether this message you are getting it or not, and here I will be checking that message. That's it. So now we are able to get this one. So now if I try to check it here, what is error here? Okay, comma we need to keep it. Yeah, now hopefully this should be passed. So now here we got this one as passed. If you try to should handle a R3 injector config. Okay. So here it should be injectable, and it should be provided in injectable. Why it is not importing injectable? It should be downloaded injectable. It should be Angular core. It should be downloaded from the Angular core. If you not get means, so we will import it here. I don't know, my system is too much slow. So import from @angular/core. It should be imported, and that one is nothing but injectable. Okay, and here now you will be able to get the injectable, and here it should be provided enough root. Okay, so now hopefully this one should be passed. So it is still saving, I don't know. Okay, so this one is passed. Now here I will be able to see the test case also should be passed. So now the test case also passed. If you try to see the output for this one, okay, so if you try to see, we are getting errors. Okay, here we need to write failed. The second argument is the options actually. Hopefully this one is passed, and if you try to check it here, see, we are able to get the console error also, we are able to get it, and HTTP response, that one is we are getting it from the console error, and we are able to match this fail to fetch configuration scenario also. In this way we will be testing the HTTP request, so when you are getting the backend error. So now here what we are trying to do, the HTTP testing controller, it provides a methods to control and mark the HTTP request in your test. So we use it to we are using for expect one, and also the flush methods we are using it. And what we are trying to do, so test the error, the catcher is in the service, transforms the error, and the test verifies that the error handling logic is working as expected. Example, proper error message is thrown or not. And HTTP testing.verify, we are using this HTTP testing.verify here, ensures all requests are accounted for and no extra requests are pending. So why we test for backend errors? Reliability, first one is ensuring your application handles unexpected backend responses gracefully, and user experience. Provide meaningful error messages to users instead of crashing. Debugging, ensure proper logging and error tracking for backend failures. So that is the thing. So you can also apply this, extend this example to test different error codes like 404, 403, like retry failed request example using the retry from RxJS and proper cleanup of resources. So this type of things also you can test it. So hope you understood about this testing of this error failed scenario of the HTTP request. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. So for example, let's say that if you in your service or something like that, if you are having a different types of errors like backend errors like 500 error or 404 error, or let's say network error. So if you want to handle those all types of backend error means, so how you can handle it. So let's try to implement this scenario so that you can able to understand it very easily. So I will try to show you that scenario. So for that one, what we need to do, so we need to capture the response. So here you will be getting the error response, which is of type HTTP error response. Okay. So now I will be capturing that one here. If error dot status is equal to 500. If it is a 500 error means, then what you will try to do. So if it is a 500 error means, so you know that it is a backend error, and here you can write that is nothing but this one you can do it. Okay, if it is a 500 error means, you can capture this one and you can do it. Okay, or otherwise you can write internal server error. So you can write it like this. And now else, if it is having if error dot status is equal to 0. So if this error status is equal to 0 means, what you can do it is, so now this one is a network connection, so that means you don't have an internet. So for this one, what you can do it is, you can write return throw error network error. So if nothing error has happened, so that means you don't know what is the type of error you are having, then you can keep a simple else condition, and here something went wrong, please try again. You can add a condition like return throw error of, like this you can do it. So now we have written different scenarios. So whatever the scenarios you want, you can do it. So here you can write console.error. So here you can write network error you can write it, and also here also you can do the console error, and here you can write unexpected error. This is the concept which you will be trying to do. And now you are having error.config.ts file. So here we will be it should handle the error correctly, fail to fetch the configuration. So we are using the same thing only, right? Fail to fetch the internal server. So we have used this internal server, so we need to change this spec to the internal server error. So here it is, this one, yeah, here. So fine. Now hopefully now the test case solve will pass. Let's see. So all the test case has been passed, and if you try to open here also you'll be able to see all the test cases has been passed. So now we have written for this only 500 internal server we have written it. Now if you want to write it for the network error and all those things, so how you will try to check it? So now we have checked this one. Now we need to handle the network error. So you can write the same thing. It should, here you can write, it should handle network error. So this is the error which we need to handle it. Now here I will be writing. So the same thing. So you can call this config service dot gets config. So you can call the same method, but here you need to call something like network error. So whatever the thing you are writing here, right? Network error, please check your connection. So this is the message which you need to check it here. So that's it. So now you can also use the done function. So there is not a problem. So you can also use the done function without any problem, so that you can able to get it. Now here what I can do, so we need to mock the response. So here I can copy this one, and subscribe is completed up to here. Yeah, here you can mock the response. So here you are trying to check the API config and it is should be get, and here we need to send the request error. So here instead of sending this flush and all the things, why? Because so we are getting an error, we will not get any response. So here you can write new error event. So you can write here error event network error. So you can use it like this, or otherwise duplication, it is duplicated it seems. It should be never, okay, so as progress event. So here you can use another scenario, progress event also you can use it. So you'll try to see the progress event. So anything is also okay. Progress event also we can write it. So here we can set it the network error as a progress event. So fine. So now we are handling this. What I mean to say, the issue for the network error also we are handling it. Now what I need to do, let's try to test the scenario. So whether we can able to get it or not. Hopefully we should able to handle the network request also. So here where we are having, yeah, it should handle the network request also. You can able to see it should handle multiple requests. It should call the HTTP request. So we have called it, and if you try to check it here also it's working fine. And here we are having, yeah, it should handle network error also, we are able to see. So fine. So now we are able to get this one. So now another one which I need to explain you before closing of this one is 404 session. So if you are having a 404 error means how you will handle it. It should handle unexpected error. So unexpected error. Now here I can have something like this, and here's the same thing. So you will be calling the service.getConfig. Where is this one? Yeah, config service.getConfig you will call it. But here in this one what you will try to do, so the fail is there, done is there, you can use the done, and here you will be able to see the error, something went wrong, please try again, something we have written it, right? Yeah, so we need to capture it, whether we are able to send this message or not, we will try to check it. This is the message which we need to check it. And the last one is, so which you can able to see it is here, this is the thing. So here we need to call the request and all those things. So here we need to expect, and we are getting this one, and here we need to send the error. So now the request has been sent, but we got the message. So here request.flush. So this time you will be using request.flush, and but we need to send the not found error. So we are sending, and here we will be sending the status as 404. Okay, and the status text also you can send it, status text as not found. Okay, so this is the response which we are trying to send it. That's it. So now if you try to check the scenario, so it should be able to handle the that scenario also, it should be able to handle. Now here, yeah, it should handle the error correctly. So that one also it handle the unexpected also, you will be able to add it. So in this way, the different types of errors, whatever the HTTP request errors you are able to get it. So in this way we can able to handle these type of errors, everything we can able to handle it. So that's it guys about this one. So now you are able, now you will be having a clear understanding about how to handle the what I mean to say, this HTTP backend errors, whether it may be a 500 error or whether it may be a network error. That means if you don't have an internet connection, let's say that immediately the internet connection has gone, and you need to test that scenario also, whether it is working fine or not. So for that scenario you will be using this network error. And the last one is, other than those 404 error or anything 400 back, anything, any errors whichever you are able to get it. So these type of errors you can able to handle it in the else condition. And these all the if condition scenarios and all those things. So we have tested it so that each and every test case it is getting passed. So this is how we will be testing the backend errors. If you are getting success and all the things means automatically it will go into the next, and you can send the success message, so that success message you can expect the result in the next and you can do it. So this subscribe thing also you can do it, or otherwise you can convert it into a promise and you can do with the promise also. So anyways you can do it. So this is guys about this testing of or using the HTTP testing controller. In the next video we will try to see about how to test the interceptors also. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. In this short, what we will try to do is we will try to write the test cases for an interceptor. So normally what is an interceptor? So you people may be having a doubt. If you people doesn't know about this one, just I will try to give a short introduction of this one. So what is this? Is an interceptor. So normally the interceptor means, so what we can say it is, let me open here in our code. Yeah. So an interceptor in Angular is a function or a service that allows you to modify or inspect the HTTP requests and also the responses before they are sent or received. Common use cases include adding authentication token to the request, logging or error handling, modifying headers for all outgoing requests. So what is this interceptor? So normally when you are trying to make a HTTP request to a backend server, or whenever you are receiving a response from a backend server, so whenever you are sending a request, so if you want to modify that request, so like let's say that you need to add for every request a token, or otherwise you need to send for every request a something header if you want to send it. Instead of writing all the places, so you can write an interceptor so that whenever you are trying to send an HTTP request to the server, so this function will be executed or this logic will be executed for every request you are making, or otherwise whenever you are receiving the response from the server, so all the time when you are receiving the server response, so this interceptor will be executed, and so that you can add some more response thing to that one. So that is the thing. So where this commonly we will be using this one is for adding the authentication token to request. For example, let's say that for every request you are making, you want to add an authentication token means, so you can use an interceptor. Or logging or error handling. So whenever you are getting an error, instead of handling for every request, so you can write an interceptor for error handling, and modifying headers for all outgoing requests. So whenever you are trying to send a request for outgoing request, so if you want to modify the headers means you can use this interceptor. So that is the thing. So in this video, we will try to see the exact use case for adding an authentication token. So for this authentication token, what I will be trying to do it is, so I need to create an auth.service.ts file. So here let's try to create an auth.service.ts file. So here I will be creating in the services auth.service.ts file. So I will be not writing any logic in this one. So just I will show you injectable. So let's try to have an injectable which should be imported and here provided in root. Okay. So this is the common thing which you will be able to have. And here I can have export class auth service. So this is our auth service, and here what I can do, so just you will have a get auth token or something like that. It's just simple method I will have, get auth token. So much logic you will be having. Just I will return mock auth token. Okay, so we are using the for testing purposes. So just I am using a mock auth token. That's it. So this is a simple thing which I will be trying to do it. Now let's try to create an interceptor for this one. So now here I will be trying to make an interceptor, new file auth.interceptor.ts file. So this is our interceptor.ts file. So interceptors we can write it in Angular 19 in two ways. Normally prior to Angular 19 or 18, so we used to implement the class-based interceptor, which we will try to see it in our next upcoming video, how we can implement the class-based interceptor. But the most from Angular 19 onwards, the most recommended way to use it is the functional interceptors. So to write it, so I will write it export function auth interceptor. Oh sorry, I am not writing it here. Export function auth interceptor. Okay, interceptor, and this is our auth interceptor. And this auth interceptor you will be able to see two arguments will be the request, which is of type, or otherwise you can write it something like this also, so it's not a problem. Const export constant auth interceptor of type auth interceptor HTTP interceptor function. Yeah, so this is the thing. So now you will be able to implement like this also, you can able to implement. So now here in this one auth interceptor, so now here this receives this receives if I try to hover here, you will be able to see auth interceptor. So we will be able to take it two things, that is nothing but one is request which is of type HTTP request. Okay, HTTP request which is of type unknown, you can keep it as an. Other one is which you will be able to get it is the next HTTP handler function. Okay, HTTP handler function, that's it. So now this is the auth interceptor. Now what it will be expecting is, so we need to return the observable. So here it returns an observable, so it returns an observable. So let's try to take it. First we will import the auth service. Auth service is equal to inject of auth service. So we are injecting the auth service. Why? Because we need to get a token. And here I will be trying to do the clone request. Clone request is equal to request, whichever the request we are having. So I am trying to clone the request and I will be adding the headers. So whatever the headers we are trying to do it, we are having the headers request dot headers dot, and here you can use the append, and in this append what I will do, so we will be having x hyphen authentication hyphen header. So just I am adding, or otherwise token. Okay, x hyphen authentication hyphen token, and what I will try to do, auth service dot get to auth token. That's it. So now we are adding the token here. Now what I will try to do, so this headers, right? So this one I want to send it. So now if I want to send this one means, so what I will be trying to do here, return next of clone request. So I am sending the, that's it, finished. So this is our simple auth interceptor. So now we need to write the test case for this one. So this writing the test case for this one is very easy. So don't think that there is too much difficult. So if you are following my previous videos, so it will be very easy. So auth interceptor dot spec dot ts file, and here I will be writing describe of, so here I will be writing describe of auth interceptor, and this one takes the method, and here you can write the before each, oh, not the before all, before each, yeah, and here you can write testbed dot configure the testing module, and here you will be having the whatever the things you want to, you can use it. So first one is what you want it, auth service. So you need to, sorry, providers, you need to provide the providers, and the providers what it will need, first one is the auth service, sorry, it should be an array, providers, first one what it needs is so auth service, and the next one is which it is needed is the provide HTTP client. Okay, and here you need to provide with interceptors. So we need to provide with interceptors of an array, and here you need to implement the auth interceptor. Okay, so now at the last you need to give it provide HTTP client, provide HTTP client, sorry, provide HTTP client testing. So that's it. So this is our testbed configuration module. So auth interceptor which should be imported. So we are not importing it. Yeah, we have imported it. Fine. Now we need to have a HTTP client. So in order to make the method, we need to make the call. So there is nothing but let, which is of type HTTP client. And another one what we need to have, so we need to have another one is nothing but HTTP testing. So HTTP testing which is of type HTTP testing controller, and let's say auth service also will try to take it. I don't know whether it will be useful or not. So if it is not useful means let's try to use it. So now this is our thing, and after completion of this configuring of this one, so we need to have an HTTP client. So for this one what I can do here, HTTP client is equal to testbed dot inject of HTTP client. So we have used this one. So now HTTP testing is equal to testbed dot inject of, here we need to have HTTP testing controller, and the last one is nothing but auth service is equal to, so we need to have auth service. That's it. So now we have all the details. So now let's try to use it. So now first the call which I will be trying to make it is the it should the authentication token. That's it, right? So now when we are trying to call the any request means authentication token should be added. So now we are trying to make a request. So now when we are trying to make a request, HTTP client, so dot get of, so you will try to make any some request API/config, and here what you can do dot subscribe, so you can do the subscribe. So that means it will be, now I will be trying to do constant request is equal to HTTP testing dot, so we should expect one request should be made, that is also to the URL /API/config. So now we are able to make the request. So now I will be trying to check that expect of request dot headers. So we will be having the headers dot get of, so I will be trying to take this authentication token. So I will be taking authentication token. So this one, okay, so authentication token to equal, so I need to check to equal, that is nothing but we can check it something like auth service dot get auth token. That's it, finish. So this is the thing which we will be trying to make it. So now what I will do, so here I need to send the response, right? So after completing this one all, so I will be doing request dot flush of, so I will send some empty response or something like that. That's it. Now if you try to test this case, so let's try to test this case. So let's see whether we can able to run the test case. So now we are able to successfully test case has been passed. So auth interceptor should add the authentication token. So now the authentication token has able to successfully, the scenario is passing. So what we have did it here, so we have configured the testing module and we have registered the auth service, registered the interceptor with using the method interceptors, and we have added the HTTP testing controllers for mock the HTTP request and the response. And we have injected the dependencies like HTTP client, which is used to make the HTTP request, HTTP testing controller, which is used to inspect and control the request and response, auth service is to validate the token, and we are testing the interceptor. So a simple HTTP request, we have made a simple HTTP request with using the HTTP client.get, and we are expecting that only one request retrieves that intercept request, and we are checking that that request is inspected to check if the X authentication token header is added or not. That's it. And we compare the header value with the token provided by the auth service.get auth token to ensure that interceptor correctly modifies the request or not. So this is how you will be able to do it. So hope you understood about this concept. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. So in the previous video, we have seen how to test the auth interceptor, that is the function interceptor, we have seen it. So the same scenario, so if you are having a class based interceptor means, so then how you can test this scenario. So let's try to see it. So you know about the interceptor thing, okay? So now let's try to implement the class based interceptor. So this is a functional interceptor. Now what I will try to do is I will convert this one into a class based interceptor. For converting this one into a class based interceptor, so we need to write export class auth interceptor, okay? So you can write it something like class, right? Auth interceptor, and it should implement the interceptor, okay? HTTP interceptor. It should implement the HTTP interceptor, not function. It should be interceptor. That's it. So it should implement the HTTP interceptor, and it should be injectable, okay? Injectable. Fine. Now in order to implement this one, so here this one will take a method that is nothing but intercept, okay? So this we need to implement a method called intercept, and this has two things, that is nothing but already we know about this one, so which is of type request, HTTP request, and also the another one which we need to have it is the next is then HTTP handler, okay? HTTP handler and not function, yeah. So now for this HTTP request, it should be of type unknown. So we can write it like this. And now if you implement this intercept, okay, so what we need to do, so first of all we need to create the clone request, constant clone request. So here I can use the clone request is equal to, so you people already know about this one, request dot clone of what we can do here, we need to implement the headers, request dot headers dot append of x hyphen authentication hyphen token, and here we need to add the auth service token. So for that one we can inject the auth service token. So here I can inject private auth service is equal to inject of auth service. So we can inject it like this. The same scenario, the function interceptors, we are trying to implement this one in a class based interceptor. Now here we have appended, and here we need to give this dot auth service dot get auth token. That's it. So now at last what we need to do, so headers, we are sending the headers here. So we got the constants, and now here, so what we need to do, return next dot handle of this clone request, we need to send it. That's it. So this is our class based interceptor. So now after completing this class based interceptor, so now what we need to do, we need to write the test case for this one. So if you want to write the test case for this one means, so this is all implemented using the what I want to tell you is using the functional interceptor, but now this one is a class based interceptor. So let's try to modify this one in order to implement the class based interceptor. So for this one what I can do it is, so auth service need to be implemented, but here with interceptor. So this one should be changed. So that one is nothing but with interceptors from DI. So you need to take it from the DI. There is nothing from dependency injection. So here it will be having it like this. And after finishing of this one providers, so here you need to add an object that is nothing but just provide, okay, provide HTTP underscore interceptor, and we need to use the class use class that is nothing but auth interceptor. Okay, so we need to take it auth interceptor, and we need to provide it as a multi true. That's it. So we need to add it like this. So after implementing this one, so remaining all is one and the same only. So here, so we have implemented this one, so we are injecting, and we can do the mock service, these all the things also we can do it. And here what we are trying to do, here we are trying expect one of this one, and we can check R to be equal to this is all one and the same only. If you want to check also, so you can write another scenario in such a way that expect request dot headers dot has. So you can use the hash, and this one is x hyphen authentication hyphen token. So you can copy this one, and here you can paste it, and to be true. So you can use it something like to be true. So this is existing or not also you can check it. Now if you try to test the cases, so it is trying to test the thing, and if you see here, so you should be able to pass. So now here we are able to pass the auth interceptor without any problem. So this is how we will be writing the class based interceptor. So previously we have written the test case for the functional based interceptors, and this one we have written for the class based interceptor. So why we will be which one is recommended one is functional interceptor. Why? Because if you are having multiple interceptors means, so now you will be able to have an idea that which interceptor will be executed first and next interceptor which will be executed. Whereas a class interceptor, so you cannot able to rely that which interceptor will be executed first. So that is the main difference between the functional interceptor and the class based interceptor. So that's why functional interceptor is the most reliable one than the class based interceptor. That's it guys about this test case writing the class based interceptor. Hope you understood about this concept. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.